What's up, YouTube? Frementor here. I know I've been out for a while, but honestly, I don't have time for anything these days. But I found some time and I found something really interesting to talk about. I have a few things I would like to say about this Panda Beller thing. I'm gonna more than likely divide this video into multiple parts because I'm gonna be commenting on things that he said on the Asmongold interview. I'm gonna look at the Beller original video that Panda is talking about. There's gonna be multiple parts. But first of all, I do want to start with what Panda said on the Twitter that basically started all, and then we're gonna go over his comments during the Asmongold interview, and then I'm gonna go into the Beller video and see if there's any merit, spoiler alert, not really, to what Panda was saying. So, let's get this started.
Hello, it's Panda here. I thought I'd make a video. I just watched Belly Law's video for 32 minutes of him talking about the problems with WoW, and I think I need to address something. And I want to start the video by saying I don't have a personal issue with Belly Law. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the content that he makes, and I'll explain why in this.
A lot of the content he makes is very positive about the game, and apparently even shills don't like that content, but okay.
But I want to make a video just real quick about this, where I feel like one of the bigger issues that we have with World of Warcraft, in my opinion, are people like Billy Law. And I'll explain what I'm saying. Again, nothing with him personally. I mean more than...
Tell me this is not personal. My problem with the game is people like Beller, but it's nothing personal.
Sort of content that he makes, and I understand why he makes the content that he does. I understand that it's great for views. If I was a YouTuber and stuff like that, I'd do the same thing. But there's a lot of people that make so many videos absolutely shitting on World of Warcraft and Blizzard every chance they get, right? And then you make a video like this talking about how they're scared to do design choices because of people like you and because of people that make content like him. They try and do something.
No, because they're fucking clueless. If they were afraid to make design choices, they would not have released the new support class Evoker. They were afraid to make different choices, they would not have removed all of the systems. Okay, they're not afraid to make choices. Like, they're not. It's like, if they're afraid of making shit accessible, that's what they're afraid of.
You make 9,000 videos absolutely shitting on everything they do, right?
By the way, that is wrong.
And talking about how, from your experience as a game designer, or your experience as life like this, as someone else in the...
This is actually the main issue he has with Beller. And yes, he has an issue straight up with Beller. Because when Beller released the game, he gained certain experience in the world of what it takes to design a game, right? What goes into it. And he saw that, because before Beller was also a lot more of a shill for WoW. He gave him the benefit of that. Oh, this must be hard to do. Oh, this must be like this. After he made his game, he's like, a lot of these problems are not that complex. Blizzard just doesn't want to do it. Remember the ripcord? Remember Soar? Oh, we can't make dragons fly in Azeroth. We can only make them fly in Dragon Isles. Soar works like the dragon riding shit, and you can do that in Azeroth. They could have released dragon riding on Azeroth instantly if they wanted to. They didn't want to. Why? Because it'll be a feature later. To show that they're like, oh look, we're patching stuff, we're like giving you more content, look at this. Bro, empty content, okay? You could have done this earlier. There was no reason to wait with this.
Industry, this is what they could do better, and we pretend like one person could solve every issue that happens with World of Warcraft.
No one pretends that. This is probably the dumbest thing he said on the Asmongold interview. He keeps repeating it. This is not one issue. It's not one person solving all the issues. This is a person identifying an issue, suggesting a way to fix it. And you'll see later on, he makes this point again. Asmongold says, well, okay, well, what if everyone knows that this is an issue and they ask Blizzard to fix it? And eventually Blizzard does. For example, the ripcord. Okay? For example, Covenant switching, right? Everyone asked this in the beginning. Azerite armor, legendary trader in Legion, okay, legendary armor vendor. Everyone asked for this because the RNG was bullshit. What did Blizzard do? Oh, we can't. Then eventually, boom, here it is. Oh, well, that's because the community came together and they all said it. It doesn't take community to say that something is broken. It takes one person to identify it and the community to agree. So every time Beller would say something negative about the game, he might just be the first person to be vocal about it, and then everyone else might be agreeing. If he's wrong, the community would say like, no man, you are wrong, we don't want this. And this has nothing to do with getting it to the devs at all. If the community is not for the idea. He suggested many different ideas throughout the years that had like no one liked. Or like community didn't like and Blizzard didn't listen either. Is that bad? But he was right that something needed to be done to fix something. Specifically like Mythic Plus stuff. A lot of people are not happy with Mythic Plus. We'll talk about that in the later videos.
Of course, Blizzard. Of course, World of Warcraft team are scared to do anything because there's so many views in absolutely milking every ounce of just every chance you can get, dumpstering on the brand and dumpstering on the game itself, right?
I disagree. As someone who loves shitting on WoW, dude, if I could make a living shitting on WoW, oh my god, every day you would get a WoW shitting video. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I'll give you an example. Making negative videos about Dragonflight, like a month into its release, people were disliking a lot. I had like a video, not even a lot of views. I think it was like 500, 600 views. Was 80% negative because I was shitting on Dragonflight for exactly what everyone was saying 2 or 3 months after. And then suddenly I also got likes because people watched it later on as well. And then I got, the ratio went down to like 30%. Like, yeah, something is shit, but it's not a popular opinion at the time. But eventually, because you can see far ahead. Here's another example. Asmongold shitting on New World Endgame. It was not popular opinion when Asmongold was shitting on New World. Why? Because everyone was excited. Everyone's like, oh man, like we're not even in Endgame, man. The game is fucking great. They get to Endgame after a month or two. Asmongold said it 2 months prior that the Endgame sucks. Everyone told him he's wrong. What happened 2 months after? Oh, well, suddenly the game sucks. Well, no shit. He just identified early. But he didn't get the views, the popular views, because it wasn't a popular opinion. So saying that's like, oh, well, it's just popular to shit on Blizzard. It is popular at times to shit on Blizzard, yes. And sometimes it is not. All the videos the Beller is doing, first of all, gauging which videos work so he can see what is going on with the community, and then reporting what he sees within the community. Okay? If he makes a lot of positive videos about WoW and the amount of views is going down, means a lot of people are not happy with WoW. And then he makes one negative video and suddenly the views skyrocket. Oh, that must mean that the community is not enjoying the game. Why? Because his video confirms it. It has nothing to do with him shitting on the game and making other people shit on the game because it's popular to shit on. Like, no. That's just what is happening. He sees the numbers and he's like, listen, I am noticing that like the game right now is suffering. People are not engaging with positive content. That the trend is shifting to having negative content. Let me explain probably why. In my opinion, these are the problems. Oh, well, Dragonflight did a lot to retain players. Great. But that's all it did. It retained the players that would not be, that weren't even willing to quit during like Shadowlands. Wow, what an achievement.
Right, and that gets way more views than what it does when something is positive. I agree. I think that World of Warcraft is in a very weird spot. I think Dragonflight is a wonderful expansion, right?
And that's, my friends, that is a shill. What is so wonderful about Dragonflight? that you don't have to play it. Dude, that's not a wonderful... Like, I don't understand how people think this is such a good thing. Oh, well, it's such a good expansion. I don't have to play it. I don't feel like I need to play it. Then you're not having fun. If you feel like you don't want to play the game, you're not having fun in the game. I don't understand this logic. It's like, well, I'm not forced to log in every day, so that's a good thing. You need... Like, you don't understand that a game, you want to play it. That's the whole point of the game. If you don't want to play it, regardless if the game demands you or not, you're not having fun with the game. Therefore, the game is fucking bad. This is not some, like, rocket science shit. Like, I don't feel like logging into WoW today, I'm not gonna do it. Then you're not having fun. Then why are you logging in ever? Oh, I'm feeling like doing a Mythic Plus. Great, you do it 4 Mythic Pluses a month or whatever to get, like, for your vault, maybe like 40. And that's your whole, like, this is your sub. What are you paying for the game? Like, why are you playing the game? To get your vault? To fucking play a casino game? Just literally spend the $15 at a casino. Go do the fucking roulette for 10 cents a pool. Fucking momos. Okay.
I disagree with a lot of points that he says. I think the biggest problem with the game right now, personally, I think that the game is way too easy to gear.
No. That's not the problem.
I think that the game clearly needs some sort of grind, and I don't say that as a...
Yes and no. I'll explain. Actually, let's go over point 1. Okay. The gear is too easy. That is not a problem. The problem with the gear is that it is irrelevant. No matter if the gear is hard to get or easy to get, it is a problem. Why? Because Blizzard makes it irrelevant the next patch. That is the problem with gear. You can make the gear as easy as you want. Oh, log in, grab, like, just go to this merchant and buy it for like 1 copper each, and like you're maxed in gear. It would mean just as little as grinding it because, like, for months to then have it all mean absolutely nothing. The problem with WoW gearing is literally the amount of item level increase. You start the expansion, okay? When you hit max level, you start at 340. Mythic 0 was like 380 gear. Why is there a 40 item level jump there? 2 patches in, I think they're like on 0.2 now, if not 0.17 or whatever. You are already at 447 or 446, whatever. 440, 450 item level. What are these jumps? Why are you jumping in item level so much? You're literally making all the previous content fucking useless. Oh, no one is going to that island where the Draktyr came from on their starting quest. That they made into like a rare spawn point. Like, literally, like, next patch comes out, no one goes there. Dead zone. So why the fuck did you make it? Why'd you make another Korthia? Oh, the mole area is another rare fucking circle jerk. Why did you make it? Oh, it's content, it's content. It's content. No, it's not. It's not fucking content flying around and killing rares and waiting for rares to spawn. That is not fucking content. Oh, but they added the shop for the transmogs that you have to go and do shit. Okay, that was a good change. And anything else? Any other content in the game that they added? Anything?
As a streamer POV, I say it as someone that's played MMOs since I was 14. I'm almost 38 years old. I enjoy there being some sort of grind in a game, as do a lot of other people. I understand.
You know why you enjoy... Oh, this is point number 2. Yes. You know why you enjoy a grind? Because there is purpose behind it. That is why you enjoy a grind. Do you know why people didn't enjoy the grind in Shadowlands? Or in BFA? Or, well, to an extent, Legion, but Legion was a bit different because it was like the first time they introduced systems like that. But do you know why people didn't join those grinds? Because you made shit irrelevant. Also, by the way, BFA, I would say majority of players enjoyed the grind for their first essence, not for the second time. People enjoyed the grind to get the... I mean, the Azerite powers were a bit better for the Azerite armor. People would enjoy grinding those out and trying to min-max and, like, find the abilities that they want on some certain gear, whatever. People enjoyed that. Did you know what they didn't enjoy? They didn't enjoy that it's fucking useless as soon as the patch comes out. They didn't enjoy that they have to do it a second or third time. That's what they didn't enjoy.
For everyone, I think gearing is way too easy. I think the game is way too easy to gear alts. Leveling is insanely easy, and that's fine. Whatever, it doesn't have to be.
Leveling was always easy. Leveling alts, gearing alts. Again, I am all for being able to gear up alts extremely fast. However, the first character, so it's like alts catching up to the main should be faster. The main, I don't care if it's a bit slower. If that makes sense. So it's like if you have, let's say, I don't know, 400 item level, and you're playing a character that is 380 item level, first of all, in my opinion, items should be account bound, so you can just transfer fucking items to other characters. But forget that for a second. Okay, if you have like a 400 item level, your main, and then you have an alt that is 380, he should be getting loot twice, 3 times, 4 times as fast to catch up to the 400. And as soon as he is at the same item level, or like let's say maybe a discrepancy of 5 item levels, boom, you're back to getting a gear as fast as the main, until there's again a discrepancy of item levels between your main and whatever. I'll be fine with that. That would make sense to me, because yes, nobody wants to fucking gear up their alt, but now they just made it's like such a fucking joke that's like, well, then why am I even playing this? Like they went too far the other way. Like they God. And to Panda's point, when Beller says, based on Panda, because I don't remember Beller saying that the devs are, I don't remember what the word he said, he'll probably repeat it, but the devs are fucking idiots. He's right.
Be hard to level, but I think that some of the statements that are made in this video are simply not true, in my opinion. I think that it's very easy. It would be like me listening to my audience and then saying that that's how the game should be.
What audience do you think Beller listens to? He doesn't Twitch stream. He makes live YouTube videos and he barely reads the fucking texts. What is he listening to? He probably asks a question on Twitter sometimes, maybe. I didn't notice any questions that he asks. And based on like public opinion, he will make a video. But a lot of it, he has a team that researches the topic. Like they probably go to the WoW forums, they probably go to like other videos, see what other people are saying about the game. What, like maybe they watch streams, see what Asmongold is saying, because he's a very profound voice in the community regarding WoW. See probably what Liquid Max is saying, and I know they follow Liquid Max because they were talking a lot about him earlier in like Final Fantasy and just Race of World First and stuff like that. There's a reason all the people who made their life World of Warcraft are not playing this game, even with Dragonflight.
You build a community based around the videos that you make. And if you make videos non-stop that do well every single time you shit on Blizzard, every time you shit on World of Warcraft, there are going to be thousands of people that comment on your videos and comment on the content that you make that don't even play WoW anymore, that have an opinion on WoW.
And in my opinion, people who still comment on WoW videos when they're not playing videos, and again, yeah, maybe I'm biased because I don't play WoW and I comment on WoW stuff. In my opinion, their opinion matters way more. First of all, there's way more of them, the people who quit WoW, than the people who are playing. Remember, there was like 13 million people at some point. So if even half of them are still commenting, and only like a third or a quarter of them are still playing, guess where there's more people? Okay, the people who are still interested in WoW but are not playing it because they're complaining about how stupid WoW is. Now, you can say that it's like, oh, some of them are just trying to justify to themselves that the game is bad. Okay, sure. But some of them actually want to play the game, but the game fucking sucks.
Point of my video is, I think the bigger issue that we have are people like Bellielor that make a lot of videos shitting on WoW every chance they get. I think Blizzard give up on systems these days that maybe they shouldn't give up on because we just rip them apart for it. I think Blizzard probably have an insane...
Okay, so what he's referring to, systems that Blizzard gave up on because we were shitting or ripping them apart. Which systems is that? The Covenant system? Yes. You know why? Because you couldn't switch freely. You know when Covenants were good? When you could switch freely. When were Legendaries and Legion good? When you could buy them. Like straight up buy them from the trader for like some currency. I don't even remember. When was like Azurite armor good? When you could reset it for free, actually, not even like just reset. When you could reset it, for like for basically for nothing. When were essences good? In my opinion, all the time. But when you were able. Okay, so on my first take, apparently I unplugged the mic because I was doing some aikido with my hands, and my cable for the mic just like fucking cut loose, so I have to re-record this part, so I have to react to the last few seconds. But basically all I was saying is the essences were good because the essences were good. The acquisition sucks. To generalize everything, systems were always good. Acquisition for systems was always bad. What Blizzard needed to fix was acquisitions, not the systems. Not removing the systems. Okay, could they have gone lighter on the systems? Yes. Could they have done a system that lasts throughout the fucking expansions? Yes. However, completely and utterly removing end game progression of your character completely ruined the fucking game, in my opinion. Okay? There's absolutely no reason for me to go into the game and grind anything right now, because everything I grind right now is going to be useless. The systems, at the very least, lasted throughout the expansion. So at the very least, you could always get something from the system that is going to be expanded upon. Okay, you got from Azurite armor, you got to Azurite essences, you got to corruption. Now, these again were not expanded upon. You could still, but the thing is, what would happen is, I mean, technically it was. So you have Azurite armor, right? Just BFA is probably the best reason for systems that were good and then Blizzard fucked up. Aside from Azurite armor being kind of like weak overall, the good thing about it is that Azurite armor lasted through the whole season. The bad thing about it is acquisition or reacquisition of Azurite powers. That sucks. Essences, once you got them, they were fucking amazing. I loved essences. I don't even know why we don't have essences anymore, because we're in Azeroth again. Either way, getting the essences fucking sucked. Using the essences, fucking great. And next patch comes out, you can still use the essences. You don't have to replace them, they're already there. And then you get corruption on top of that. So like you kept expanding your power based on that, not just gear. The gear was fucking boring. Why? Because gear is like, well, I know my best in slots from the beginning. Now I just need the higher item level of the same fucking item. That is not fun. You're just replacing the same shit. Give me toys to play with. Anyways, let's go back to the video that I already reacted to, and then
I think Blizzard probably have an insanely hard job to do with keeping people happy.
I doubt it.
But that's just my opinion.
Okay, so here's why I really disagree with him on this one. There are effectively easy changes Blizzard could do to make players happier, and even the sourest of the shills would effectively have no issue with it. Okay, removing timer on Mythic Plus, who does it hurt? Absolutely no one. Who does it help? Absolutely everyone. However, you're gonna have those guys who are like, no man, I want to beat the timer. Then like, why do you care about beating a timer? Don't you just want to do the run as fast as you can? Then who gives a shit about a timer? You see what I mean? So it's like dying will still suck, but it won't suck so bad that your key is fucking ruined. You know what I mean? Someone leaving is not gonna fuck you over, because they can still technically complete the run with 4 people, most unless like the tank or whatever left. Or maybe even allow for people to join, even though there should be some penalty to that people joining. I mean, that's a whole other story. Either way, there are quick fixes. The easiest fix is like removing timer, removing key depletion. If someone wants to spend 2 hours pushing a key, fuck it, let them. Who gives a shit? Most people won't, because it's a fucking waste of time. Just get more gear and do it later. Another easy fix that absolutely no one would care about except for the sourest of shills, and Asmongold talks about this a lot: spawn at boss. Why not? Oh, but because you have players with fucking ego and they just want to show everyone that they're better than other players because they can B-res, and then they can get back into the boss in less than a minute. That's still a fucking minute that you're wasting, right? Okay. 8-second. Okay, so for example, okay, you know something is a wipe. You cannot just do like /GG like Guild Wars 2 that like kills you. Okay, but you know something is a wipe. So you have, and assuming you got the B-res ready on the healer. Okay. Now you're waiting for everyone to die. 5 to 10 seconds. Healer accepts res and starts casting his AoE B-res. AoE B-res is about 8 seconds. Okay? Everyone is on top of their fucking game. They know what's up. They all click accept the second that the B-res is out, that the AoE res is out. Okay? Placing food. Okay, everyone's eating. Let's say that took like 1 second. Okay, let's like everyone is started eating within a second. Okay, how many seconds are we in already? 8 plus 1 plus about, let's say, minimum 5 seconds for the wipe. Okay, so we're at 14 seconds. Eating, another 10 seconds minimum. Okay, 24 seconds. Pull timer 12 seconds. You just wasted 36 seconds. At the bare minimum, you wasted 36 seconds between pull. It's like, oh, it's only 36 seconds. Times 100 wipes. 50 plus minutes are wasted. Instead of fighting a boss, you are doing that shit. If you have 100 pulls on a boss, you have wasted more than 50 minutes on resurrecting, eating, and that is if everyone did everything perfectly. Like, everyone's like on their fucking game to get back into the boss. Minimum 50 minutes per 100 pulls. What's the average pulls on like mythic bosses? Let's say on the low end, like the first few bosses, it's about 30. On the high end, later on, it's like 300 to 400. Let's say the average is about 80 pulls a boss on average per raid tier, right? And you have 9 bosses, right? And this is like 80 is like low balling the fuck out of it. So 40 minutes times, now you have, I believe, 9 bosses, but let's say 10. 10 is a good number to go for. 400 minutes that you have wasted. What is that? Like almost 7 hours of wasted fucking time per tier? Why does this exist? There is no reason for it. And this is, again, bare minimum 7 hours that you've wasted for the whole tier. Obviously, no one thinks about it that way, but I'm just giving you like an understanding. So technically, no one, and I mean no one, would be hurt, or I mean, maybe some people would be angry because they have their ego boost, but like no one would actually suffer from Blizzard making it so you resurrect right on boss and you don't lose your buffs. You don't lose your food buff and whatever, and you can just like resurrect, pull timer, boom. And honestly, if you remove like pre-potting and shit like that, you don't even need a big pull timer. Pull timer is like 5 seconds because you don't need to like do all the setups. This is the problem with WoW. This is where the time wasting. Would it make everyone happy? Overall, yes. Will it make some people unhappy because of their ego gets hurt? No one should give a fuck about someone else's ego. Overall, it is effectively a better version of the game. This should happen. One person can suggest it or 1,000 people can suggest it. It doesn't matter. It is effectively, overall, there are no downsides. There are only positives on both cases. And I don't want to go into like PvP and like Mythic Plus. Like, overall, these are easy fucking systems to implement. These are, and like also like Summoning Stone, Raid, whatever. Easy fucking systems to implement. And overall, massive benefit to the game. That's it for part 1. I'll see you in part 2 when we talk about... let me see here. I took a note. Part 2 is... Panda is an idiot, doesn't understand why sword change is bad. Alright. I'll see you then.